A YouTube creator by the name of Haley Khalil, or some of you might see her as Haley Bailey on YouTube, recently had a video posted. Well, it may not have been recently, but it came across our eyes recently. And when you see what the video was about, I want you to analyze it for yourself and tell me if you think it's one, hilarious, or two, something we should be normalizing. I'm going to let you watch it, but caution. For me, at least, it was very disturbing. Not sure what it'll be for you, but I'll let you decide that. Take a look.
Slide up in a nasty girl, nasty up in a nasty girl, nasty up in a nasty girl, nasty up in a.
Now, there are some things you do not joke about. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe. There are some things that are off limits as jokes. Children, especially the sexualization of anything to do with children, 100% off limits. Never will be funny because it traumatizes people for life and it encourages bad behavior from adults. This particular creator, Haley Khalil, is an absolute trash human being for thinking that this is somehow hilarious. Not only hilarious, but it should be put in a format with the kind of song that you heard. I've been a nasty girl at 6 years old. Really? That makes a whole lot more funny to it? That's what it adds? Hilarity? Or can people look at your video and automatically assume you're a pedophile? We took a look at the rest of her shorts. Nearly half of them have to do with little children speaking on the same disgusting issue: sex. Either from their perspective of wanting it, trying to find it, unable to find it, or trying to what they call pull someone older than them. Along the same lines of coast guards or bodyguards or pool people or 19-year-olds. It's insane. I don't even have the words to describe what emotions it evoked in me. It made me angry, very angry, because this clown has 6.24 million followers on YouTube. I don't know what that really says about society. I can only assume that it has many people out there that have an affinity for sexualizing children. We tried to tell people this was something that was going to happen. It has been happening. Every time you look at TV, they do it. And it's become normal now. To the point where we started having pageants for little kids. Dress them up in bikinis, parade them in front of perverted old men. Now we have fools like Haley Khalil thinking it's funny to make fun of a sexualization of a child. Now, y'all might think we might be stretching too far, but how far is too far when it comes to kids? You tell me. How much of a red flag do you have to see before you realize that people like this are sick? How much do you need? Do you need 15 examples? But you know, by 15 times, it's too late, right? How many examples do you need of your child telling you a person approached them inappropriately while they were at the pool? Do you just need to tell, well, you know, it only happened once, don't worry about it? Or I'm sure the person meant it as a joke, don't worry about it? Is that how we handle things now? This has become normal. Well, if no one else is going to say it, I'm going to say it. That type of behavior is what we would call pedophilic. You have an affinity for thinking about children sexually, which makes you a deviant and a sick individual. An absolutely disgusting person. No one on earth should be following anything you have to say because you have nothing to offer anyone in any capacity. You think your looks are going to carry you through, but it's worthless looks. It's absolutely deplorable. But this is the world we live in now because both Hollywood, the media, and especially social influencers love to push this ideology on you. And they do it in the most fanciful way they can. Hilarious music, and they even use children. She actually has videos on here of people's children with that moniker over the top. Look, there is a certain rage that happens simply because I also have children. And if it ever came down to where people started normalizing speaking to my child a certain way because idiots like this have made it normal, my reaction can only be one way, and they won't like it. Only you get to decide what's allowed and not allowed when it comes to children because you're the arbiter of all of it? No, I say no. Any and all jokes around the sexualization of children aren't jokes. They're a window into your mind. They're a window into your wishes. They may even be a window into your current life and how you actually deal with children. I would not be the least bit surprised if there is some hint of child material on your computer, Miss Haley Khalil. I would not be surprised. No one makes that kind of humor without having some semblance of truth in them. You meant it. And all of the talk that you talk about, well, you shouldn't be judging, don't need to ask those silly questions, this is all a joke, is BS. And you know it. People are going to look at this and they have the right to judge you for it because you put it on the internet. Willingly, happily, disgustingly. And we will make our assessment of you based on the materials you put out. If you don't want somebody thinking you're a pedophile, don't put pedophilic stuff on the internet. It's really that simple. It should not be mathematics that is so difficult or college level calculus. This is elementary math. 1 + 1 = 2. You put stuff like that on the internet, we can only assume you have an affinity for children. Like I said, though, at the beginning, y'all can make your assessment about it because there are tons of people agreeing with her in her comment section. They love it. They said, yeah, I remember when I was that age, I was trying to do the same thing because that makes it right. Because your parents allowed that nonsense, that makes it completely okay. This is where we are, though, in society. This is where we are. And it's going to be an uphill battle to combat this simply because they have more power and influence than we do. The only option we have to stop this madness is to make sure that our children, our own children, do not become like this moron. We have to make sure that we implement into our child's mind that they're worth more than this kind of stuff. And this will never, ever, ever be funny. Having known people who have been abused as children, this is not hilarious. And this is inviting trouble for other children, especially children who watch your stuff and think it's okay. They approach the wrong adult with this nonsense and then they get abused. And who's going to get blamed then? The child, not fools like Haley. Unfortunately, she will never pay any price for the kinds of crap that she pushes out on the internet. And she'll continue to be successful to the tune of 6.2 million people and the funds that come with it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just asking you to analyze this stuff from a very, 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 very sane perspective. Because this will become something way too normal, and you'll see people with larger accounts than hers doing the same thing. It's already happening in Hollywood, like I said. The media's already pushing it. It's now starting to trickle down into regular, everyday people content. Your children are the ones that are going to be exposed to it because they market to them. All I can tell you is monitor very carefully what your children have in front of them, because people like this are going to prey on them.